I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Even if somebody is nice enough to cut this wood up, take it out of their back lot, set it out by the road, stack it up neatly so that you can load it in the back of your truck and bring it home, especially that lovely free sign over the top of it. I help him, he helps me. I get firewood, he gets rid of it. So it's a good deal on both of our parts. Doesn't mean that it's without work. I have to load it up at his place, and then I have to bring it home and I have to unload it. And since, not complaining, since some of this is cut to length, it could just go right on the rack and be ready to go into the fireplace as soon as the seasons. It's really wet and heavy. Even that little stick's a lot more than what you'd expect it to be. But some of this stuff is just long poles. These two longest ones he laid on the ground to keep it off the dirt. Nice guy. But that means I have to set up a pallet over here on the corner of the building so that I can stack this wood up so it can season out and be ready for me to burn it probably next year. I won't be able to use it this year, but probably next year. So it's just going to be a matter of unstacking it and putting it onto a pallet and getting it ready to go. The long ones I'll have to set aside so I can cut them up with a chainsaw. I don't have time to do that this morning. I've got other things I'm trying to do. I really need to get the truck unloaded because Ryan's going to come down and pick up the truck. That means I have to go to Menards and buy that upright rack for the workshop because he's probably going to have it for a couple of weeks while his van gets fixed. So a lot of work, a lot of things to do. Let's get started. I got a set of This is a mix of applewood and mulberry according to the sign, and that's what it looks like to me too. Now some of this is going to need to be split. And once again, I don't have time to be splitting wood this morning. So we'll work with what we've got. Get it unloaded off the truck. Come back and settle it out the way it needs to be done. Some of this wood's going to end up in the fireplace because apple burns pretty, smells good. Behaves well in the fireplace too. It doesn't crackle and spit sparks all over the place. That didn't work. Heating with wood warms you more times than you want to think about. But it is the byproduct of a workshop. Some of this stuff will make good bowls. Although the applewood looks to be pretty much too far gone to make much out of it. Mulberry makes good bowls. You just have to set it up, spin it, and cut it down. Ready to go. Tractor Man 44 does this pretty much all year long. He heats his house and his outbuildings, everything with wood. Well, I don't know that he heats his house completely with wood. I know he has a fireplace. But seeing as how he's an HVAC technician, I bet he's got some ways to do it so he doesn't have to be standing there throwing wood into a fire all the time. At least I would. And I expect he's as good as I am or better. Okay, just about done here. Takes longer to set up to do this stuff than it does to actually do it. This is why you're supposed to have kids at home. And if you're smart, you'll have kids at home right up until you're no longer here. Because they're workhorses. I know I did. Mom and Dad had firewood till they both passed. Because I was cutting firewood for them and I was cutting firewood for me. And some other people that were not necessarily in on the program, but they found that they were looking at a pile of firewood out in the woods. They had a truck, and rather than have the firewood on the ground, they decided to be better off in their truck. But it got used, it wasn't wasted. At least I hope it wasn't wasted. I didn't watch to see how well they did it. But then, it's not something you want to watch, having somebody come over and borrow your effort and not say thanks. But I got the feeling that they figured it was their right, because I somehow owed them. That never made any sense to me, and I doubt it does to anybody else. Now, if Mom had said, you know, there's a pile of firewood out there in the woods, why don't you go get some and keep yourself warm? I said, you know what? It's Mom's woods. It was Mom's wood to start with. She can give it away to anybody she wants. Mom didn't do that. Mom would have said, hey Dave, I know some people that need some firewood, and I'd have said, tell them come get what they need. Because my goal at the time, since I didn't have a fireplace other than in the workshop, and I had more wood piled around the workshop than most people see in their lifetime, I was just cutting it up to clear out the woods so that we could walk through. Mom liked to walk through the woods, and Dad liked to drive his tractor, his lawnmower through the woods. So when a tree fell, cutting it up and stacking it, and putting it in a pile next to the fire pit there in the woods, so that when we had the family over, when Mom and Dad had the family over, they could have a fire out in the woods. It was really nice going out and sitting on a tree stump, which I made benches out of tree logs and stumps, and sit around and have hot dogs and marshmallows and the kids playing, and that was all right. I really enjoyed being able to do that for them. But I guess I'm done with the truck. Time to get ready to go and pick up those uprights. Whew. I don't think I need this coat right now, but I don't want to take it off, I'll get chilled. I'm going to get the crossbuck over here and cut up these chunks of wood that I got leaning against the tree. And I got a pile of wood's been laying over there most of the summer by the crossbuck. Weather has a tendency to push jobs around to where they have to be. I got wood piled up over there, I got wood piled there, I got wood piled against the tree, and I got wood piled on the pallet. Gaining ground. Okay. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.